So, Wole Soyinka said that Peter Obi didn't won the election. Who won the election? We need to know, because all this I win, I lose is getting too much. Even when they go to courts, all the three parties, the first three parties that involved in it, they couldn't even express themselves, like even the one that was be able to express itself. The evidence was just match. You know, when somebody that is bigger than you, that is stronger than you, that is just holding you down, you cannot move. When somebody that has an upper hand is trying to manipulate you, you know this person is doing something that is wrong, but you cannot just do, because he's holding you really in a way that you are helpless. This is the condition where we are today.
To be among such demonstrators, but only on the banner of truth, not of lies, not of deceit. Peter Obi achieved something remarkable there, that he broke that mold. Yes, however, he did not win the election.
All right, Dr. Abati, that phrase, Bajwe, got me. I mean, you know that Wole Soyinka has always been quite vocal about Peter Obi's, emergence as whether it is a third force or not. But before I come to you, let me take some tweets. This is from Omar, who wrote, "No one can be seen to say categorically that someone didn't win an election if the person cannot show proof of what he asserts. It is on Prof to show us why his assertion is true. Was he in the 36 states monitoring the elections, or his agencies were, or a report affirmed so?" Well, Lawrence also wrote, "Why does Wole Soyinka feel so comfortable saying terrible things against Peter Obi? He claims Peter Obi was mobilizing youth for protest, while in truth, Peter Obi was the one telling the youth to keep away from protests. The youth are blaming Peter Obi for not allowing them protest. Wole Soyinka is saying Peter Obi was mobilizing the youth to protest." I mean, Lauren's tweet was quite apt. We do know that Peter Obi has been telling everyone to stay calm until Judgment Day. Judgment Day has come and gone, and we have not seen any violence. So, I mean, it is quite worrisome to hear Professor Wole Soyinka make such assertions. Dr.
It's
Abati.
very straightforward.
Yeah.
The obedience,
Yes.
those characters on social media who give Peter Obi a bad name, they finally lost Professor Wole Soyinka. You recall that before now he had complained about this obedience, some people call them some other names, operating on social media and forcing Peter Obi down everybody's throats. And he said, look, at that time, that Peter Obi was even his favorite candidate because he wanted change in Nigeria, and he thought somebody else, new blood, should provide the leadership. Many of the other people who in fact supported Peter Obi, they backed away from him because of the behavior of these characters, who abuse everybody, who think their own version of the truth is the only version of reality. So that's the evidence you have seen there. And you could see Okendebe, the interviewer, feeling, well, where is Prof going in this matter? Yeah. That's number one. The second part, of course, is that Professor Wole Soyinka is just expressing an opinion. His opinion does not matter in this matter. The Court of Appeal has ruled, right? The way the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal handled the matter. Mr. Peter Obi himself and the other petitioner, the People's Democratic Party and Atiku Abubakar, they have said they are going all the way to the Supreme Court. What the law provides for is that it is the apex court in presidential matters that will have the final say. And I think, while it is normal, natural for people to react to court rulings, in this particular matter, it is the Supreme Court that will tell us the truth of it.
Yes,
so Professor Soyinka is not in a position, because he's not a shamanist, he's not a futurologist. He once wrote a play called Requiem for Futurologists. So he himself cannot act as a futurologist in the matter. So we all should just calm down and wait for, the Supreme Court. And when he says Bajue, deception, right? Well, there are some other commentators who will say Professor Soyinka is accusing Peter Obi and the Labour Party of Bajue of deception. But some people will say, in fact, the entire election was an act in Grant Bajue, a whole deceptive operation. There are people who, even if you wake them up 10 years from now, they will still say 2023 general election was a complete Bajue, quoting Professor Soyinka. So it's not just about Labour Party, and it's on the basis of that we are saying that there are certain reforms that will still need to take place. There are certain consequential steps that will have to be taken by the National Assembly with regard to the electoral framework in Nigeria. So that phrase, Bajue, don't limit it to where Professor Soyinka has located it. Some people will tell you it's an entire Bajue that we are dealing with.
Yeah, well, it has gone to the Supreme Court, and we'll wait for the Supreme Court judgment. I mean, obviously, his statement has elicited a lot of reactions. Well, in the same vein, a public affairs analyst, Durojaye Ogunsoya, was trending on Wednesday after he stated during a live television interview that he was a classmate of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the Chicago State University and graduated alongside the president from the Department of Accounting and Business Administration in 1979. Well, during the interview, Ogunsoya accused those disputing Tinubu's academic records of being mischievous because Tinubu was a governor for 8 years and would have had a university degree.
So we met in the school, Chicago State University, and we were in the same department, College of Accounting, Business and Administration, with a major in accounting.
Yes.
With major in accounting. And we were in the same class together, and we graduated. He did attend the university, Chicago State University, and he graduated in 1979.
Okay, as you did.
As I did.
In 1979.
Yes, so I'm here to testify that he did attend the university and he was a good student. People were being mischievous in the first place because he was a governor for 8 years. Somebody who worked for Mobile for several years, and you're contesting that he didn't go to university. How is that possible? I cannot imagine how that is possible, that they are claiming that he didn't go to the... Sometimes the president might be embellished, sometimes, but that does not mean that he didn't attend university. He did attend university. He was a governor for 8 years.
Well, all right. I mean, I don't know if you need a university degree to be a governor, but certainly you do need one to, work at Mobile. So, I mean, Mr. Ogunsoya has definitely caused a lot of reactions as well. Let me take one from Leoma, who wrote, "It's been 23 years since Tinubu's Chicago qualifications were first challenged, and suddenly Durojaye Ogunsoya, a public affairs analyst with no digital footprint, suddenly remembers he attended school with Tinubu and used to mock his accent." Well, Nigeria is a funny place. Another Twitter user, Raymond, goes, "A simple Google search of Durojaye Ogunsoya shows that this man didn't exist till 2 days ago. No LinkedIn, Facebook, or even Chicago State University link outside his ambiguous claims. Do these clowns think this is the 1980s or 1990s? Information is everywhere and accessible." Well, Raymond, I mean, he may not have a LinkedIn of, a digital footprint, and not everybody does.
Let's say he's not digitally
But that actually
savvy.
was the rhetoric on social media,
Yes,
whether or not, where did he come from?
So, and it's quite curious, Audrey.
Yes.
That's the first thing that came to mind as well when I said, oh, finally someone has come out as a witness to give an interview to not just talk about the fact that they went to university together, but even give a character witness in terms of the kind of student that he was. Now, Mr. Durojaye Ogunsoya can come out as a student to say what he wants to say, but we can't take that as a certificate. We can't take that as records from the university. It's good to see, people, someone come out to testify that you and I were seatmates in university. But beyond that, people have made questions, and where are the pictures? Did they not take pictures in 1979? Do we not have records again? Why is Chicago State University, not being very forthcoming with regards to information? Yes, they've said, we had to go, Atiku Abubakar has gone to court to try and get them to release information with regards to the educational qualifications of President Bola Tinubu. But this has to go down as one of the most controversial in terms of the credentials of a president in Nigeria. I mean, we have cases like this often, but this is quite interesting. And I think just to put the matter to rest, certificate, show us evidence of the fact that you went to university. And by the way, the fact that you worked in a certain organization doesn't mean, I'm sure some people will know of Oluyole, where they have said, so it's not
Oluwole.
Well, that shows I don't patronize the services. Oluyole is about
where you print fake certificates.
Yeah, so I'm just saying that's not all these things. Just give us the real. That's what Nigerians just want to know the truth. Yes. And let me go to what Professor Soyinka said, because that's why I'm quite, as a young person in Nigeria, Professor Soyinka, as a citizen, is well within his rights to decide to choose or support a particular political party.
Yes.
However, I believe because of his status as a statesman, a lot of people would expect that he would be a